Hello students, today we will take up the second poem from your textbook Hornbill. The title of the poem is The Laburnum Top. This poem has been written by Ted Hughes. Ted Hughes was an English poet who was the Poet Laureate of England from 1984 until his death. He started writing by the age of 15 and by 16 he decided to be a poet. Therefore, after graduating from Cambridge, he concentrated on his poetry and at the age of 27 he released his first book of poems titled The Hawk in the Rain, which established him as a poet. Later, he started writing books for children and quickly made his mark in that field. Today, he is ranked as one of the poets of his generation and also one of the best writers of the 20th century. Now, before beginning the reading of the poem, I will give you a brief introduction about the poem. The poem, The Laburnum Top, is about a repaying relationship between the laburnum tree and the goldfinch bird. The tree is yellow, silent, and death-like, and it comes to life because of the presence of the goldfinch and also because of her young ones. The yellow bird has her shelter on the tree where she feeds her young ones. But as soon as the bird leaves to fly in the sky, the tree becomes silent and death-like again. The poet beautifully presents a complementary relationship between the goldfinch and the laburnum tree. Let us now begin reading the poem. The laburnum top is silent, quite still in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. A few leaves yellowing, all its seed fallen, till the goldfinch comes, with a twitching chirrup, a suddenness, a startlement, at a branch end, then sleek as a lizard, and alert and abrupt. She enters the thickness, and a machine starts up of chitterings, and of tremor of wings, and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It is the engine of her family. She stokes it full, then flirts out to a branch end, showing her bared face identity mask. Then with airy delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. Now let us hear to the explanation of the poem. Okay, so in the first set of lines, the laburnum top is silent, quite still, in the afternoon, yellow September sunlight. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds falling. So a laburnum is a short tree with hanging branches. It has yellow flowers and the seeds of it are considered to be poisonous. So in these above lines, the poet says that he saw a laburnum tree whose leaves were yellow. I would say the flowers were yellow and the tree's top is still and silent in the daytime of September month. And we also come to know here that it is autumn season and all the seeds of the tree have fallen. Now here the poet has used the word yellow for leaves and for sunlight. So yellow here symbolizes silence, it symbolizes death, and it also symbolizes beauty. And the usage of the word yellow repeatedly in the first stanza, it symbolizes again death, as it refers to the yellow leaves. Now we all know that in the autumn season the leaves are shed by the trees, so therefore we would say that the yellow color here symbolizes death also. Okay, then the tree is also silent. So silence here refers to the daytime that's without rain or any sort of wind which is blowing, which is not blowing over there. In short, the poet is elucidating the melancholic condition, the sad condition of the laburnum tree, which has turned silent and it is actually dying, and it's without any seeds. It doesn't have any seeds. Okay, so the poet describes the whole scene of the tree with this yellow color. Now here in this paragraph we have poetic devices which have been used. First is alliteration, which is the repetition of a consonant sound. Here in the line, in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. So September sunlight, S sound is being repeated. Therefore, this is alliteration. Okay, let's move further. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end, then sleek as a lizard, and alert, and abrupt, she enters the thickness, and a machine starts up of chitterings, and a tremor of wings, and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. Okay, so a goldfinch, it's a small singing bird with yellow feathers on its wings. So up till now the laburnum tree had been quiet and still until a goldfinch bird comes to end the death-like silence of the tree. And this bird makes a twitching chirrup, a sudden chirrup sound, a sudden high-pitched sound. Then the bird, while being rapid, quick and alert and precautious like a lizard, she sits on the branch of the laburnum tree. Okay, so here the poet has made a comparison between a lizard, the movement of a lizard, and that of this bird goldfinch. So as she moves towards the thickness of the branches, it's written, a machine starts up. By this, the poet means that the birds' younger ones start chirping as they see their mother approaching them. Okay, then further it's mentioned that there is a tremor of wings, which means that these little birds start moving their little wings, which creates vibrations and a certain kind of sound like that of a machine. Okay, so because of the movement of the bird and her young ones, the tree starts to shake and thrill. Therefore it is written, the whole tree trembles and thrills. As soon as the mother enters the thickness of the branches of that laburnum tree, and the kids, I would not say the kids, the baby birds, as they see their mother approaching them, they also start moving their wings, because of which the whole tree starts to tremble. Okay, so the poet has given two opposite scenarios of the tree over here. Okay, the tree in the first paragraph, it's death-like, and it is very still and very quiet, and the same tree is shown giving life and shelter to a bird and her young ones in the second paragraph. Okay, so we have two opposite scenarios of the tree in the first and the second paragraph. Okay, let us look into the poetic devices which have been used over here. First one is a simile, which is comparison between two things using like or as. It is sleek as a lizard. Okay, so this is a simile. Then we have metaphor in the line. She enters the thickness and a machine starts up. So the noise created by the movement of the birds is compared to the machine's noise. Therefore, it is a metaphor. Then we have alliteration. Tree trembles, repetition of T sound. Also, we have personification. Okay. Um, in the line, the whole tree trembles and thrills. So the human characteristics or attributes of trembling and thrill have been given to a tree. Therefore, this becomes personification as well. Okay, let's move ahead. It is the engine of her family. She stokes it full, then flirts out to a branch end, showing her bad face identity mask. Now, this is an important paragraph. Now, here the poet says that this goldfinch bird is the engine of her family. Why? Because she stokes it full. It's written as she stokes it full, which means that the goldfinch provides food to her young ones, and then she moves to the other part of the or I would say the other branch end of the tree. So the mother goldfinch is the caretaker, the engine of her family, who takes care of the baby birds. Then further it's said that through the laburnum tree leaves only her dark colored striped face is visible clearly, as her body is yellow colored, which hides behind the yellow flowers of the tree. So both the body of the goldfinch as well as the laburnum tree are that of same color, which is yellow. So only her bed, her striped face can be seen clearly through the yellow flowers of the laburnum tree. Okay, see here the phrase her bad face identity mask is used, and it is an example of the poetic device transferred epithet, okay, which we also did in the first poem. So this transferred epithet, how is it a transferred epithet? See, the laburnum tree has flowers that fall like bars down in the downward direction, and when the bird sits behind the flowers, the stripes on her face look like she is wearing a mask. Okay, so the kind of face that she has, it seems as if she is wearing a mask, and that mask has some kinds of bars on it. Okay, bars drawn on it. Okay, so barred here actually is it's an adjective for the flowers, and this has been transferred from there to that of to the bird. Okay, therefore it becomes a transferred epithet. Also, her bared face identity mask, it is also a metaphor, because the shadow of the bird's face, it's compared to an identity mask. Okay, therefore we'll also say that this is a metaphor. Then we have another poetic device. We have metaphor in the line, a machine of chitterings. It is the engine of a family. This we have already covered. So the goldfinch family is compared to a machine or to an engine. The bird has been compared to that to an engine, because she is the caretaker of the family. Okay, let's come to the last paragraph. Then with airy delicate whistle, chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. So at the end, what happens? The goldfinch, after reaching the end of the branch, it makes a strange chirping sound, just like whispering. Okay, and it finally flies away to the infinite. Infinite here is the sky, to the never-ending sky, which again makes the laburnum tree silent and death-like. So we can say that the presence of the birds, the presence of the goldfinch and her little birds made this tree very lively. Okay, and as soon as this goldfinch left the tree, it again became still and silent, death like. Okay, so the poet holds a clear message for us through this poem. That he says that life is a process of exchange and transformation, and people are alive because they undergo various changes of energy. Okay, and in the poem, the goldfinch transforms the laburnum tree and makes it alive. But without the goldfinch and the babies, the laburnum tree is lifeless. It is very dull and very boring. Okay, go through the explanation once more in detail and also mark the doubts that you have regarding the poem, and keep up your doubts for the next session. Thank you, everyone.